What's the title?
Question 4. Okay, so question 4 in the exam is 12 marks. Remember, questions 1, 2 and 3 will be on the unseen material. So question 1, which is 2 marks, find a word that does this, find another word that does that. That should be relatively, actually no, not relatively, incredibly easy. I'm not going to teach you how to do question 1. If I have to teach you how to do question 1, we've got a problem. Question 2 is going to be about language in a specific bit. Question 3 is going to be looking at a little bit more of the text as we go. Question 4 goes into the anthology text. Okay, and this is language and structure. So I'm just going to bring up my notes. So can you please write, how does, what's her name? Helen MacDonald. Here we go. How does Helen MacDonald use language and structure now what does she do? Throughout the whole thing, what does she do? From top to bottom? No, she doesn't waffle about a hawk. What does she do? 2, I think something like excitement. Let me find a question 4 for you. Yeah, to show how she feels about the hawk. There we are. Okay. Oops. How does Helen MacDonald use language and structure to show how she feels about the hawk? Now, okay, so in the question, you need to close reference to the text, including brief quotations. Now, what we need to aim for is, for 12 marks, you're looking at roughly 4 points. Okay? Now, when we did this last time, do you remember what we did?
No.
Good start.
Didn't we? I don't know.
So I think it was 1 language and 3 structure, or 2. So I can't remember now. So I think if we go with so we need to have language references. Come on.
Don't we need a what?
Yep. Okay. So you need to have 3 references to language. Top, middle and bottom. Okay? Structure, you're probably looking at 1 sort of reference, but also one paragraph really that looks at the progression of the text. Okay, so this is from the beginning to the end. Within your structure bit, you need to be able to use evidence. So you need to kind of bring in the language, because there are structural features that we're dealing with. And in the language bit, you kind of need to signpost whereabouts in the text that particular feature occurs. Yeah? So there is a blending across both of them. If you're writing about language and structure throughout or at the same time in your response, you're doing tick, tick and tick. You're doing everything the question asks you. But having you look at the question then, what are your keywords, Ronka? What are your keywords in the question?
Structure.
What does structure mean? this is revision. What does structure mean?
How it's laid out.
How it's
Kind of laid out, Gabriel?
how she builds up the tension.
That's it. Okay, so structure, okay, is the build-up. So you look at where she started and how did she get to the end. Where does she wander off to in the middle bit? Okay, so you look at where did she start? How did she get to the end? Language, what does language mean?
What language she's using to show it.
Yeah, the words. Okay? Language in the English world is just a fancy word for words. Okay? So it's the words she uses. And then the impact of those words. Thinking about what she wants to achieve. What does she want to what does she want those words to do? Now, there are loads of words in this particular text. I mean, there are 70 lines of them. But you can't talk about all of them. But you also can't talk about the stuff that's not going to do anything. So you need to choose words of note. Choose words that stand out. Choose words that you can identify are actually doing something. Okay? So that your choice of words need to be significant. There is absolutely no point in writing about a quote in any of the texts that you have to do, for language or for literature, or really for any subject, history, geography, I can't think of any others, physics, chemistry, maths, any subject. If you're having to write about something that really you haven't got a Scooby-Doo, what exactly is the point in writing about it? If you have to choose something, you choose something that you can actually say something about. Otherwise, you're going to simply sit there and either just go all the way through your article, all the way through your answer, or just not write anything. So you need your choice. It's the choice of the words need to be significant, but you also need to be able to write stuff about them. So your choice of the words are going to make or break your answer. Okay? When we put all of that together, what is the order of our answer?
So it must be. Is it what, how, why?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what is she doing?
I remember doing that.
Yeah? Well, we know she's building tension, but specifically what tension is she building? Okay, and how is she doing it? So is she doing it at the beginning? Is it kind of a big chunk in the middle? Does she gradually, slowly dribble it all the way through to the end? Does she go a bit mad halfway through? Has she got this particular word? Does she repeat certain words? Has she got one-word sentences? How is she creating this tension? How is all of this occurring? And then why on earth is she doing it? Why is it important that she writes it in this way? Why is it important that we have this information in this way, in this manner, at this point? Okay, so the why part is what is the point? What is she trying to get across to us? So, you've got all the notes.
Let's go.
Absolutely.
No, can you not write it with her?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah,
Okay, you're going to do your own one for homework for Wednesday. But let's have a go at the answer. How does Helen MacDonald use structured language to show how she feels about the hawk? So first of all, what does she feel about the hawk? What does she feel? And it's going to be the main one. It's going to be the main one. She feels attached. So,
related.
okay, so HC, HM.
Is this going to be exactly the same for our homework? Which I'm
Yeah. The question's slightly different,
but we just have to fill it out like that.
but it's basically like this, yeah. Yeah, it's 12 marks. You shouldn't be really spending more than 20 minutes on this. Absolute tops. Once we get to that point. Okay? Right, HM feels what?
Is this a start?
HM feels what? You're answering the question. How does she feel about the hawk?
To her hawk.
Is it her hawk?
No. To a hawk.
Which hawk does she emotionally feel to attach herself to?
The first one.
Is it the wrong hawk?
Yes.
Right, is there a quote somewhere along the line? The wrong hawk. Can we use that?
was
Wait,
the
don't
wrong
you
bird.
Good. Line 46. Attached to the wrong boyd. Also known as the wrong bird when you say it properly.
57 it says, I didn't recognise her, this isn't my book.
Okay, she feels emotionally attached to the wrong bird and doesn't there you are. HM emotionally, oh no, sorry, is emotionally attached or feels emotionally attached to the wrong bird and doesn't recognise the one she is supposed to have. Your exam question will say, in what ways does the writer use language and structures to show blah, 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 blah? You should support your answer with close reference to the text, including brief quotations. Have we already got a brief quotation? Yeah. Okay. Right. Now what? How has she done this? How do we know that she's emotionally attached to the wrong bird? Or emotionally attached to the first bird? How do you know you're right? Because you are. Find me it. No idea. How do you know? How do you know? Concentrate.
She's even got the little.
Yeah. Concentrate. How do you know that she's emotionally attached to this first bird?
Oh.
It's from like line
I
15
love this.
to guide.
Doesn't matter. I'll close the curtains if you can't
I
concentrate.
love this.
What line?
39.
Line 39. All at once. I
Oh,
loved
wait,
this
no.
man, Fezzy. Now be really careful. You need to look at how it's been used in the sentence. Otherwise, you take it out completely out of context.
Sunlight drenches us and everything is brilliance and fury.
Yes. So,
Line 17.
which part of that? Because that's quite a long line. So we need to be really careful. We're not over quoting because simply by copying out the words, you're not going to get any marks for copying out words. So you need the words you use have got to be really, really precise. Which ones do you want?
She uses like words like sunlight drenches,
Okay.
brilliance and fury.
Okay. So HM describes the moment the bird came out. Yeah.